Scottie Scheffler, 2 under 68. Scottie, we got to talk about the finish. Start with 17. Did you see it go in the hole?
No, could not see the ball go in, but there was a nice crowd there in the grandstand behind the green, and so I saw where it landed, and I thought that it would funnel out onto the green. I'd have a look for birdie, and then you could kind of see everybody as the noise, started to kind of rise, got excited, and then, they erupted, which is always nice when you're standing back there in the fairway.
And then talk about the putt on 18 and just those two last holes kind of put you in a nice position.
Yeah, I was fighting all day today, trying to just get myself back in position, starting the day, 6 or 7 shots back or whatever it was, and just trying to make some birdies and avoid the bogeys. And I didn't do a great job of that for most of the day, but I grinded it out pretty hard. I felt like today was one of the days where I got punished pretty good for my mistakes, whereas yesterday I felt like I wasn't getting punished at all. I was hitting all over the map and getting some decent lies and figuring it out from there. And today it seemed like every time I got offline I was really fighting for par. And just fortunate to see that shot going on 17 and then a nice birdie on 18 to kind of get myself back into it.
We're going to open up to questions. Rex?
Going back to 17, Scottie, did that almost feel like a boost given the situation? You said you had been fighting all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, seriously, for instance, I think I maybe only missed a couple fairways today with my driver, and I missed a fairway, I think, on 5. And I actually hit a great recovery shot to get up there by the green somewhere, and I ended up in a spot where I had to play 70 feet away from the pin and 2-putt for bogey. And then I missed a fairway on 13, and it's actually a spot up there where the rough is fairly thin, and it's almost kind of like, I'll just hit it in the left rough and just get out there on the green somewhere and try and make par, just because if you hit anywhere on the right side, you're laying up. And got a horrible lie, and I missed a fairway again there on 16, and I can't advance anywhere near the green, and it just felt like I was getting punished for my mistakes. Like, hit a good shot into the 2, end up in the barranca, just little stuff like that, and then all of a sudden, the shot goes in from the fairway, and all that stuff just melts away.
And just to follow up on what you told Damon outside, last night your driver actually caved in, is that correct?
Yeah, it seemed, or flattened or something. I kept hitting it left, and then I grabbed my backup, and I just started hitting it really straight, and then I'd grab my gamer, and it would just start going dead left, and then I'd grab the backup, and it would start going straight. And then I just tossed it away.
We'll go here on the right to Eddie.
Scottie, speaking of clubs, to follow up, did you end up changing putters? But also, how do you feel your putting is going this week?
Thank you for not realizing that I switched putters. I feel like people are just asking me tons of questions about my putters, so thank you. I did switch putters. Yeah, I know. I appreciate it. I'm serious. I did switch putters to a slightly bigger one than I've used in the past. It's a putter that the shape, I used a putter this shape when I won the US Junior. I used it when I made a deep run at the USAM, and just something that was kind of an older look for me, and something that just looked slightly different. Maybe a little bit bigger line would be maybe feel more forgiving or something like that. Just a slightly different look, and I feel like I'm rolling it nice this week. And I did switch putters.
Kind of what we were asking you about earlier this week. I know the Memorial was rough, but did you feel that far away on the greens over the last month or so?
No, Memorial wasn't that rough. I was one shot out of a playoff, so that was pretty decent golf. So I'm not gonna sit there and bang my head against the wall because I had an off week on the greens. I'm proud of how I fought. That's something I talked about at the beginning of the week. Was I think earlier in my career, if I was still in college, having never seen the ball going on the greens would really bug me, but I just kept my head down and I kept trying to execute shots, and I still gave myself a chance to win that tournament. I made the cut on the number and didn't putt great on the weekend and still almost had a chance to win. And so that was my main takeaway from last week, was just how good I was mentally and how hard I fought just to give myself a chance.
Front left.
Scottie, it's a long day tomorrow before the leaders tee off. What do you do during the morning and even the early afternoon to get yourself in the right mindset and kind of take the nerves away?
I'm a routine guy, so I always have the same routine, whether or not I tee off at 7 in the morning or tee off tomorrow I might be teeing off at 3:30 in the afternoon. Who knows what time we'll be going off, but just go out, wake up, go get breakfast, come back to the hotel, read a little bit, watch some golf, and then when it's time, I'll get in the shower and start my routine.
Is it any easier or harder if you're the leader versus, in your position, like in contention, but a couple of holes back?
I wouldn't say so. I think you're nervous whether or not you're leading or chasing. I want to win the golf tournament, and it doesn't matter what tournament it is. I'm showing up and I want to play good, and I want to win, and Going in tomorrow, I'm going to be chasing, but it's not going to feel any different if I was in the lead. It's just, I'm 4 shots behind instead of 4 shots ahead or whatever it is. But you got to go out there and execute and do the best I can.
We'll go to the right.
Aside from winning tournaments, Scottie, can you think of another more exciting finish to a round, knowing what's at stake in your professional career, and how do you bottle that heading into Sunday?
Just mostly good momentum. That's pretty much all it is. I'm standing there on 17T and just made another bogey, and I think I was probably 4 under for the tournament, and I'm looking up at the board, I'm 7 shots back, and I'm thinking maybe I can steal 1 shot coming in, but really I'm just trying to hit the fairway there just to give myself some sort of chance, because if you miss a fairway on 17, I'm going to be fighting for par again, and then hit a nice drive, and the shot goes in, and it's a huge boost, and then hit another 2 good shots into 18 and nail the putt, and all of a sudden, instead of 7 shots back, I'm only 4. And so definitely a huge momentum boost going into tomorrow, and hopefully I'll just keep it rolling, but I'm just going to go home, get some sleep, and then just get ready for tomorrow's round.
Last question here to Sean.
Some guys, it started to trickle out that they just don't really love this course. Other guys really like it. I'm curious where you sit on that spectrum of like to dislike.
I definitely like the golf course a lot. I think it's a very interesting place to play golf. I think some of the setup stuff has been also a little bit interesting. It can be frustrating at times with how firm the greens are and how much softer the fairways are. Like 11 is a good example of a hole in which I hit a shot. Let's go back. I can either cut a 3-iron or draw a 4-iron and try and run it up onto the green. With the draw 4-iron, I can land 3-iron on the green, and it's just going to go 60 feet past the pin, no matter what I do. And so you're standing up there on the tee box. I'm like, well, I might as well give myself a chance to get the ball somewhere close to the pin versus just taking 60 feet, because there's no way that the 3-iron's going to stop. And I hit a 4-iron, nice draw, perfect shot, lands right in the middle of the runway, and it just hits and almost bounces backwards to sideways, and I'm 10 yards short of the front of the green. There's literally nothing you can do to hit the ball close to the hole there. And then, I feel like we ran into the same thing on 7 yesterday, where it's just frustrating that, my ball lands just short of the green yesterday on 7 and barely gets onto the green. Max's ball lands a foot onto the green and goes over the green. The only guy who actually got a look for birdie was Colin, and he yelled 4 because he thought he was going to hit the volunteer in the left rough. And so stuff like that on the golf course can be frustrating, but at the end of the day, it's golf, and you get good breaks and bad breaks. And I like that the golf course is challenging. I like that the greens are really firm. There can just be some frustrating aspects to it when golf courses get this challenging. It's just the nature of the game.
Scottie, thanks for your time. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.